So I remember when the story happened. So we have a female teacher pedophile on the run right now, Kara Dickey. I actually work not too far from the school, and I see a lot of these teachers, and I just shake my head. Anyways, this female was arrested back in 08, 09. She was sentenced to 4 years. She had a suicide pact with a 14-year-old student. She did her time. She really let herself go. This woman looks different in every picture, but it is what it is. She's on a run now. You imagine the cojones of this chick, though. She's on a run, cut her bracelet. She's like, yo, I'll turn myself in if you drop the warrant. If you, she picked 2 police officers that she knows that she wants to come pick her up. Man, these chicks are wilding out. But check out Kara Dickey, the Predator. I know, like, in New York, we have a horrible prison system where we keep drug abusers and dealers incarcerated, and we let pedophiles and rapists go free. But I was thinking, like, you know, she only did 4 years, not even. She was out of jail by February 2012 last year, and she was in a halfway house, so she didn't even last there for 1 year, not even. It's 11 months, and now she's on a run, and they're saying she has another victim. But I would think that being that she's a teacher, they would have given her more time than 4 years. Now they kind of dumbed it down and tried to give her a whole buttload of parole. She had parole until 2020, so that would have been at least 8 years of parole plus 4 years in jail. But I don't know. I'm thinking, being that she's a teacher in her position, she should have got more jail time.
Who was fired for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with a student is now under lock and key. News 4's Ellen Maxwell is live from our newsroom with the latest on Kara Dickey. Ellen?
Kara Dickey disappeared at the same time as one of her 14-year-old students last month, and now she's facing felony charges related to that day. Buffalo police say 30-year-old Kara Dickey turned herself in at police headquarters this morning. She was arraigned on charges of unlawfully dealing with a child, promoting a suicide attempt, and unlawful imprisonment. The charges stem from what police and school officials have called an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old student, partly involving text messages.
They represent inappropriate expressions of affection between an adult and a middle school student.
Dickey was suspended from South Buffalo Charter School on June 16th. Then she and the boy in question both disappeared overnight. They were found in different locations the next morning. Sex offense squad detectives say Dickey committed the crimes in question between noon on June 16th and 1 p.m. the following afternoon. A spokesperson for the school says the case is now in the criminal justice system and is no longer a school issue. Dickey was fired a few days after the disappearance. Police say the charges against Dickey are the result of an investigation that's been taking place since Dickey and the student disappeared. Buffalo police refused to comment on camera tonight. We spoke with Roy Dickey's attorney just moments ago. We'll bring you what he has to say about this tonight at 11. Kara Dickey is out on bail tonight. Reporting.
To express my regret, other than I'm sorry.
An emotional Kara Dickey, a mother of 3, asked the judge to give her a chance to prove she can be the good woman she once was.
But my actions during that time do not define my character. That is not who I am.
The 30-year-old had already confessed to sleeping with one of her students twice. Police say she gave the 14-year-old rum, Tylenol, and NyQuil as part of a suicide pact. The victim's father, with tears rolling down his face and barely able to speak, told the judge the former teacher has caused his family devastating pain.
You know, Kara, you're a very selfish person, okay? You did to our child, and you understand that.
The prosecutor read a statement from his son, who is now 15. He says Dickey's actions have scarred him for life.
This lady is sick and selfish, and she really had me not even caring about anyone but her.
Your despicable actions must be punished appropriately.
Kara Dickey will now spend 4 years in prison, and she can never teach in New York State again.
The affair with the student is on the run tonight. The Department of Corrections says a warrant has been issued for Kara Dickey. This after she allegedly cut off her ankle monitoring bracelet and took off. Officials say they want to find her because they have received information that she may be involved with another underage boy. The 34-year-old pleaded guilty to 2 counts of rape back in 2009. That's after it was revealed she had a relationship with a then 14-year-old student while working at South Buffalo Charter School.
She's been missing for 3 days now, and tonight there's new information on the search for the former teacher who had an inappropriate relationship with a student. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
And hello again, everyone. I'm Scott Levin. Parole officers say Kara Dickey cut off the monitoring bracelet that she was required to wear for her parole, then simply disappeared. Tonight, authorities confirmed that they found that bracelet. Dickey had been living on Bailey Avenue near Walden in Buffalo's Lovejoy section. The bracelet was found about 4 miles north of there and was located in a snowbank on Capon Boulevard, just a few doors down from Main Street, right near UB's South Campus. But they did not find Ms. Dickey. 2 News Side's Dave McKinley spoke with someone who was trying to help Dickey before she took off.
Kara Dickey was living in the upper apartment at this home on Bailey Avenue in Buffalo's Lovejoy neighborhood. A downstairs neighbor tells us she hadn't seen her for at least a few days, though. It was transitional housing, which she found through Back to Basics Ministries, which, among other things, provides reentry services to parolees.
In meeting her, we discussed some of the things that led her to prison, you know, and she revealed her story to me because I also do counseling here.
Dickey pleaded guilty in March of 2009 to charges of second-degree rape, admitting she had sex with a 14-year-old South Buffalo charter school student where she had been a teacher. She was paroled last February.
She was still troubled by the fact that she couldn't really see her children and stuff, but she was learning how to deal with that.
Giles says Dickey found a job doing secretarial work, but also noticed with her income she was becoming more independent.
So that kind of led her not coming to the program as often, so we didn't see her as often for a while.
And when he did, he noticed a change.
She was just starting to make some bad decisions regarding curfew and stuff like that, so we pulled her in and said, listen, this is what you got to do, you know, you're starting to stray, what's going on? But something happened, you know, I'm not sure if it was a family problem, but she became a little more distant.
We have what we think are very skilled professionals working within our community supervision operation, and we're confident she'll be brought back into our custody.
She hasn't been in contact with you, obviously.
No, she hasn't.
If she were to call you right now, what would you tell her?
I'd tell her bring it in, you know, because your life ends once you get on the run.
The Department of Corrections would not say if Dickey had any connection to the specific area on Capon Boulevard where that monitoring bracelet was recovered, only that her current whereabouts are unknown and that she would likely face additional prison time if and when she is apprehended.
To teach students and went to prison for having sexual relations with one. Tonight, Kara Dickey has vanished. And as News 4's Rachel Kingston reports, parole officers suspect she may have a new victim.
Parole recently got a tip that Kara Dickey is sexually involved with another underage boy. Then yesterday, the Department of Corrections learned that Dickey took off her ankle bracelet. Now she is nowhere to be found. Convicted sex offender Kara Dickey is on the run, and parole officers suspect she has a new victim. The former South Buffalo charter school teacher who confessed to having a sexual relationship and suicide pact with a 14-year-old student in 2009 removed her electronic ankle bracelet and disappeared sometime Wednesday. Not long ago, parole received information that Dickey is involved with another underage boy.
Not a good situation. It's totally wrong.
That's neighbor Sheila Mashter reacting to the news. Mashter says she had no idea about the criminal past of the woman she knew as Karis.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I got a 15-year-old son. That's not good.
I mean, what was she like? What were your interactions with her like?
Seemed like a pretty nice person. She was quiet, never really bothered anybody. I mean, was very friendly to us, actually.
Kara Dickey had been out on parole since February 2012, living in this halfway house. Until now, she had no violations. Dickey isn't responding to parole officers' attempts to contact her. They have a warrant out for her arrest. Corrections officials won't say much about the underage boy she is suspected of being involved with now.
There is an allegation of that, and we are aware of it. I can't get into a lot of detail about that, other than to say that there has been an allegation. You're correct, and that's part of the process that we're going to try to determine once we get her back into custody.
Dickey, of course, could go back to prison for violating her parole if she's caught. If you have information that can help police find Kara Dickey, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 867-6161. You may be eligible for a $1,000 reward. Rachel
Bizarre
Kingston,
turn.
News 4.
You might remember this woman. Her name is Kara Dickey. She's a former teacher who went to prison for having sex with a student. Now she's believed to be on the run with another possible victim in tow. News 4's Brittany Smallwood is here with details. Brittany?
Ed, during Kara Dickey's sentencing, she said her actions at the time she had sexual relations with a student didn't define her character. But today, authorities say she could be in trouble again. Convicted sex offender Kara Dickey is on the run, and parole officers suspect she has a new victim. The former South Buffalo charter school teacher confessed to having a sexual relationship and suicide pact with a 14-year-old student in 2009. Authorities say she removed her electronic ankle bracelet and disappeared sometime Wednesday. Not long ago, parole received information that Dickey is involved with another underage boy.
There is an allegation of that, and we are aware of it. I can't get into a lot of detail about that, other than to say that there has been an allegation. You're correct, and that's part of the process that we're going to try to determine once we get her back into custody.
A neighbor described her interactions with Dickey since she's been living nearby.
Seemed like a pretty nice person. She was quiet, never really bothered anybody. I mean, was very friendly to us, actually.
Authorities say if Dickey's caught, she could go back to prison for violating her parole. If you have any information that could help police, they're asking that you call Crime Stoppers at 867-6161. There's a $1,000 reward for information, Ed, leading to her arrest.
And at this point, there is a warrant also out for her arrest.
Yes, there is, so she could be in a lot of trouble when she's found.
Right, sex with a student, she's in trouble once again. Kara Dickey is on the run, and her parole officers think she has a new victim. A woman who law enforcement believes is Kara Dickey called our newsroom this morning. News 4's Brittany Smallwood walks us through the bizarre twists and turns in this case. Brittany?
And a woman claiming to be Kara Dickey says she's on the run and won't return till the record is set straight. I spoke with her this morning, and here's what she had to say. Convicted sex offender Kara Dickey is still on the run. A New York State parole officer says Dickey called an official last night and said she'd turn herself in, but only under certain circumstances. If her warrant was canceled, if officials stopped saying she was with an underage male, and if two specific officers come to get her. But authorities said no, she has no room to negotiate. Not long ago, parole received information that Dickey is involved with another underage boy. But a woman claiming to be Dickey called our studios this morning and said that isn't true. A New York State parole officer who heard the recording says this is Dickey on the phone.
My violation has to come with being involved in fraternizing with another felon, a grown woman. The only thing that had anything to do with the child is that we spent Christmas, a nice Christmas, with her little brother.
Dickey said she knew that spending Christmas with her girlfriend and a 6-year-old boy violated her parole.
He was in a bad situation and we wanted to have a nice Christmas for him. That was the only thing.
Dickey is on parole for having sex with a minor. In 2009, the former South Buffalo charter school teacher confessed to having a sexual relationship and suicide pact with a 14-year-old student. Authorities say she removed her ankle bracelet and disappeared sometime Wednesday. I asked Dickey on the phone when she'll return. She said things have to turn around before she'll come back.
This needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. It needs to be addressed. Speak directly with parole if you need to so that they can clarify that that information is incorrect. They know that it needs to be changed before I turn myself in.
And where are you now?
Thank you.
If Dickey is caught, authorities say she'll face charges for breaking parole. She's supposed to be on parole until 2020. If you want to hear the entire interview, we will have it up on our website, WIVB.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, Brittany Smallwood, News 4 at noon.